Hi, my friends. If you are interested in Blender add-on development, you might find this video useful to you. I'm a software engineer and I started working with Blender add-on since 2 years ago. And today I'm going to share a framework that I built for developing Blender add-ons, which would make developing an add-on much more efficient. Building a simple Blender add-on today is actually very easy by following the official online tutorials. Basically, you just need to create some Python scripts according to the documentation and package them into a zip file, and then you can install it to your Blender and start using your add-on. I see most of the online tutorials would focus on teaching people how to make use of the Python API to realize a specific feature in the add-on, but I seldom see discussions about how we should organize the inner structure of our add-on project to make it more developable. I saw quite a lot of add-on where developers just put every code into a one huge Python script file, the init file, making it very hard to understand and redevelop. From a software engineering perspective, putting everything into one single file is a bad practice. Think about it. As your add-on size keeps growing, as you are developing more and more Blender add-ons, you might realize that there are a lot of functions that can actually be reused across different add-on projects. But how would you actually reuse them? Would you just copy and paste them from one add-on project to another project? Apparently, that is not an ideal solution because it is hard to keep everything updated and you need to do a lot of manual work. Ideally, you should just keep those common things at one place and import them to your add-on when you need them, right? Okay, so now we have this idea, but how do we achieve that? That's where we need a framework to help us developing an add-on in a more scalable way. I tried to find some existing frameworks online, but unfortunately, I didn't find a good enough solutions that can solve all the issues I encountered. So I developed my own framework. It does help me resolve tons of headaches and greatly improved my add-on developing experience. So I'm going to share this with you and let's start looking at it. Okay, now to use this framework, you need to download it from the GitHub repository here. It is called Blender Add-on Package 2. And then you can open it with any kind of Python IDE. In this video, I'm going to use PyCharm, which is my favorite. You can also use other IDE. The framework itself does not have any requirements on IDE. You can use Visual Studio, you can use PyCharm, you can use any kind of IDE. Those are all okay. So I don't want to complain, but the coding experience in Blender is really not that good. A framework that allows you to develop in your own favorite IDE is quite important for me. So I would say this is the first benefit of this framework. You might want to take a look at the README files of this project first, especially the framework development guidelines here. I do include some details about how to set up your development environment correctly. There are some details here. There are some important details here. So I suggest you to follow these instructions step by step. In this video, I will be focusing on the framework itself. Okay, suppose you have set everything up. Now you can open the project in your IDE. You will see some files here. The first thing you need to do is to go to the main.py. Here you need to configure the path to your Blender executable. Depending on which Blender you want to use to test your add-on, you can put the path to the exe file here. The framework will start the Blender for you to test your add-on. The second thing you need to take care is the active add-on. This means which add-on you are currently developing, you are currently testing. I can name my add-on as new add-on, and then I can go to the create.py file here and run it. Just run it, and you will see the framework would create a new directory under these add-on folders, which is called the new add-on here. This template is created according to the sample add-on, so don't change anything in the sample add-on because it is used as a template for your new add-on creation. Okay, now you can start developing your new add-on in this folder. Basically, you can treat this new add-on folder as a standalone add-on project. You can see we have the init file here. You can see the BL info, the register, the unregistered functions, etc. And we do have some starter code for you. We have some example operators. We have some example panels, preference, etc. already inside the project, so you don't need to write everything from scratch. Especially the init file, it is written in a way that you don't need to take care of registering every single Blender class. We have an auto load modular which takes care of loading up every necessary Blender class like the operator, panels, etc. So you don't need to take care of the init file implementation that much. Unless you really need to configure the register progress by yourself. Basically, you can treat this new add-on folder as a standalone add-on project, but the only difference is that it does have access to any other modulars inside the project. For example, I can create an utility modular under these common folders. For example, I can create a files here called utils, and I can define some functions like get factors. It can just return some constant. I'm just taking it as an example. So suppose we have a lot of calculation here, right? Basically, this is a reusable functions across different add-on. So now, how do you use this function? How do you import this function to your new add-on? Easy. Like for example, in this example add-on operator, I just need to from common.utils import get factor. So now I have this function in my add-on project, and I can use it. For example, here in this execute functions, I'm scaling up my active object by some times. So here I can use the get factor functions to scale my active object. Okay, now suppose we have done the development. The next thing we want to do is to test it in our Blender, right? So go to test.py file and run it. And now you can see the framework starts the Blender project for you, and you will find this example add-on here. And you can see the panel, you can see it has the example operator. So now I can test it, click it, and you can see the object is scaled up by 2 times, right? Here, another great feature of this add-on is that it supports hot code swap, which means here, if I update my functions, I don't need to restart the add-on. The code will automatically get updated in Blender memory, so you don't need to restart anything. just change it, like I change it to 1, and you can see the add-on has been updated. And now when I click the operator, it takes no effect because this is 1. It doesn't scale up the object anymore. I can change it to 2, 3, yeah. So whenever you update code here, the result will be reflected immediately in the add-on in Blender. For example, this is the panel. This is the panel of this add-on, and I can comment out these 2 statements and save it, and it will immediately update the add-on inside Blender. So this is also a very important feature of this framework. Okay, so suppose you have done your development and finish your testing. So now you are ready to package your add-on. This is very simple. To create a zip file for your add-on, just go to the release.py file and run it. And it will print out the path to the released add-on here. You can find 2 things here. One is a zip file, which you can send to your friends and they can install it to the Blender. Another thing is the add-on folder, which basically you can obtain the zip file by zip this folder. They contains exactly the same informations. And let's look at the folders, and you will see that this folder does not include everything in our project. It only includes necessary Python files. For example, you can see we only have the new add-on here. We do not have the sample add-on here. In the common modulars, we have this util, we have class loader, because the class loader is used in the init file, right? In the init file, we use the autoloader. We also use the internationalization modulars to load a dictionary. We have some framework code there. But we don't have other things like modular installer because we never use it in our add-on. So we do have smart algorithms inside the framework, which will automatically detect all the dependency you have for your add-on within this project and include all the necessary files in the release result. So you don't need to take care of how to make the zip file manually. The framework will copy everything under these new add-on folders, including Python file or some image files, static resource, anything. Anything inside the current add-on folders will be copied to the release result. But if you do have some additional resource you want to include and our framework missed that, you can add it manually in this folder, and then you can create the zip file by yourself. So this is the only chance you might need to use this folder. Okay, we have covered the main features of this framework. Now let's look at some detailed features which might be useful for you. First thing, you can declare your properties in this dictionary, and you no longer need to remember to delete it in the unregistered functions, because the framework will add properties for you and remove it for you automatically. So previously, when I developed some add-on without using this framework, I have to write code like this. In the register function, I define a list of properties, and I have to remember to delete them in the unregistered files. So when it has a lot of properties, sometimes I might forget to do that. To avoid this from happening, a better way would be declare the property once and let the framework handle the register and the unregister for you. So this is commonly used features, and I have included into our add-on. Another important thing that a lot of developer might miss is about the internationalization. So there are a lot of users in living in countries where they don't speak English. So if you really want to develop a high quality add-ons, it is a good practice for you to include some translation in your add-on. And to do that, you just need to provide a dictionary in the in the internationalization folder. Here you can find a dictionary. A dictionary looks like this. So you can add your translation. For example, here I add some example dictionary for the Chinese, and you can add your own translations if you want. It is a good practice to always include a dictionary in your add-on because other people can extend the dictionary easily to support their own language. If there is no dictionary in your add-on, then people will spend a lot of time to go through your code and find out all the word, all the labels you used within your add-on, and in order to do the translation, this is very time consuming. So at least if you can provide one dictionary for one language, it will be very helpful for other people to translate your add-on by just extending the dictionary for their own language. So this is also something I included in the sample template, a sample add-on template here. Of course, if you don't want to use that, you can just remove those modulars. It's up to you. Okay, last but not the least, if you find this framework helpful for you, please give me a star in the GitHub repository. And also, you are welcome to help developing this framework. If you do have some great ideas, if you want some new features to be supported in the framework, please let me know. And also, you can contribute to the source code, to the repository. I can help review. Thank you very much and hope you enjoy it.